points. It's Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense, and I'm here just to do that today. Please, if you're just joining my show, hit that like button and share my videos. Follow me on all the other social media platforms. And before we get started, check in with me and let me know that you can hear me, that the sound is working properly, because sometimes it wants to do whatever it wants to do as it colludes with YouTube sometimes. Yeah. And, it's hard to distinguish whether the issues with the sound are coming from YouTube or does it come from my microphone. And the reason I say that, thank you. Somebody said you rock. The reason I say that is because last night, y'all, I recorded a fire video, y'all. I'm doing a 3-series video that's covering the J6 garbage and, showing y'all some clips that you may never have seen or, a different angle of it. So I did phase 1 last night and I used my microphone, no pops, no beatbox, and no none of that stuff. So I have to conclude that it's probably a combination between YouTube and the microphone that sometimes give me that craziness that goes on. So with that being said, also don't forget that video I recorded. I'm going to upload it as a pre-recorded featured video so you guys can chat and make comments during it. But I'm a little concerned that they might stick it to me because there's been a lot of YouTubers just being removed, being censored, being banned, being demonetized, and I can't afford that right now. So what I think I'm gonna do to encourage a lot of y'all to go ahead and subscribe to my alternative channel, which is Stop and Think About It. I'm going to upload it there just to be safe. That's going to be the test run so that if, they don't take it down there, then I can put it up here. But you can have access to see it early before I put it up on this channel by simply subscribing to that channel. Because tonight, right after the show, I'm going to upload phase 1 to my alternative channel. And if Dawn, if she's there, she is. Hey, Dawn. If you could paste and copy the link to the alternative channel in the chat, I'd appreciate it. So with that being said, y'all, we have to go ahead and bust open this whole can of worms that's going on around the country concerning, illegal immigration. And at the end, we're going to be covering the left's cope when it comes down to Donald Trump's popularity, his growth, all of that stuff. They don't like it. They don't like it. So, of course, they have some new tactics, some new tricks and stuff that they then came up with to try to stop him. Now, with no further ado, let's get busy. What? Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Get some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorilla in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Yeah, so before we talk about all the gorillas in here, I want to also remind everybody that I do have a merch store, which is Kevin's Corner Store. There you go, Kevin's Corner Store. So you can go ahead and check in to the corner store, get whatever you want. Don't be coming here talking about, I want some liquor. You got some wraps. Do you still sell clips, roach clips and stuff? No. Can I get a pack of tops? No. You're not getting no tops. Give me a peewee, a 40 ounce, some malt liquor. Don't be coming in my corner store asking for that stuff, okay? We don't sell that stuff here. The sad part about that is when I was growing up, all the rules were just completely relaxed, especially in the hood. My mom would send me to that corner store, and the corner store man sold you anything. Absolutely anything. Here I am now, 9 years old. Hey, Wally. My mama and them sent me to the store to buy a pack of Cools. Oh, don't worry. Pack of Cools, yeah. What else? She wants the 6 pack of Bud. Don't worry. Go get the Bud Light for this. Couldn't believe it. Here I am walking home with cigarettes and alcohol to give to my mom and them. And I'm thinking, man, this is crazy. Does this only go on in the hood? These people should have been brought up on some charges or something. But they didn't check stuff like that. Those were the days where it's like, don't worry about it. Everybody's cool. Hey, what do you mean you need to keep your dog on a leash? Man, let that mug roam the neighborhood. Don't worry about it. It'll find food and water. And if it does bite somebody, put some iodine on it, rub it down, and just send the kids back out to play, okay? There's not going to be any lawsuits, What? Seatbelts required. Man, get out of here. Your mama's the seatbelt. Throw the arm right across you. There you go. How'd I get distracted talking about the good old things? Anyway, let me get back to this. My merch store. You can purchase whatever you want in there. Christmas is still coming up. There's some time. And then also that number 330-974-4607. If you text MAGA to that number, then that will ensure, just in case something goes drastically wrong here, that you'll be getting my videos and where I'm at and all that good stuff. We need to stay in touch like that. Also, we have maybe a couple hours left for the fundraiser. I checked it and I'm like, oh, okay, it hasn't expired yet. So those that want to hit a buzzer beater at the last second when we get done with the channel and you want to support the channel, let's go ahead and do that by simply clicking on the link below this video. It's at the top. So if you click on it, you can go ahead and do whatever you have to do if you choose to. And it would be greatly appreciated. I've been listening to YouTubers across. See, I thought it was just me for a second. I'm like, man, do I feel like I'm asking the people for too much? I feel kind of bad, but then I'm seeing Twirly. I'm seeing all kind of YouTubers like, yo, we need your help. We need your help. And that's what makes my antennas go up. And I'm like, oh God, they're coming after us. They're coming after us big time. So now I got to tiptoe around some of the things that just initially pop up in my head. So far, I've managed to stay out of the limelight and the radar from getting completely demonetized. But you never know what's going to trigger them because these YouTubers aren't telling me what they did or what YouTube told them that they did. So how can you avoid something if you don't know exactly where the traps are? But they want it to be that way. They want it to be very vague so they can stick it to you at will. And somebody said Rumble. I am on Rumble. I just haven't been able to transfer my audience over to Rumble. I don't know if people can find me on Rumble, but the link is right below the video. So if you want to subscribe and follow me on Rumble, you can do that as well. Because if I get a big enough audience over there, I'm going to blow it out the water. So with that being said, let's get into it because Mayor Conehead is back, y'all. But before we get into Mayor Conehead, this is a bigger issue than Mayor Conehead. And you know what issue I'm talking about? It's immigration, the one that gets all the way up under my skin. So let's see what's going on. Starting off with Chameleon
The border
Harris.
is secure, but we also have a broken immigration system, in particular over the last 4 years before we came in, and it needs to be fixed.
Wow, just gonna lie to me like that right to my face, huh? Just like that, huh? The border's secure, but we also have a broken immigration system, and it's been broken this way for, their talking points. They all sit in meetings and say, here's the obvious issues going on across the country that people are going to go, that doesn't make sense, or why is this a problem, or why are we doing this? So we got to come up with some bull crap responses. Okay, just in case you're in a pickle and a reporter loses their mind and asks you about this nonsense. So here's what you always tell them. The border is secure. However, the immigration system has been broken for years and we need to revamp the immigration system. Therefore, we can, disperse the blame and distribute it dating back 20 years ago, 30 years ago. We can go ahead and blame it on Congress by saying they haven't come together and revamp the immigration system. And I'm thinking to myself, well, that's not what I thought. I thought that if we simply, execute and implement the laws on books in regards to how the immigration process should work, we should be fine. One, you can't come across the border without some type of reason. And the only reason that could be is actual, look, I really need asylum. This ain't one of those I want a better life. But hey, I disagreed with the Mexican governor and he decided he's going to throw me and my family in jail because I don't support him politically. Or I believe in Christianity or Islam or Judaism or Buddhism. And they said that because you believe in this, that you're going to be jailed and persecuted. Those are the only two. There it is. The other things should be obvious. Don't bring your butt up to our border and tell us you want to come across here. And even those two needs to be qualified. If you're not in Mexico, if you're one country away from Mexico, then our next question should be, okay, that sounds great and all, but what did Mexico tell you? Did you apply for asylum when you got there first? No? Oh, you just decided you're going to rely on the United States because their asylum is better. It's better. See, so those are the only two. But here she is with her talking points because nobody's going to question her on it. And this is the stuff that just tries to get these people off our backs. Is that the border is secure? However, it's been broken forever and all of that stuff. UK in the house. What's going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, now let's continue hearing her lie to us, okay?
2 million people cross this border for the first time ever. You're confident this border's secure?
Look at the pause. The pause and the look up to the left. There it is. That means I'm prepping you for a whopper lie. There it is. That's all it takes. Look at the eyes. If you know anything about body language, boy, I tell you, many times I've caught people lying because of my built-in lie detector tactics. Watch this.
We came in.
Here it is.
And it needs to be fixed.
We're going to have 2 million people cross this border for the first time ever.
You ready?
You're
You ready
confident
for the
this
look?
border's secure?
Oh, you see them eyes go up? Come on, chameleon. Come up with a lie. Yeah, you see them? There you go. Boy, I tell you, man, people tell on themselves in the craziest ways. But here we go.
We have a secure border.
Let's see how that looks.
What we have seen are more mass illegal crossings. Take a look at this footage we shot yesterday afternoon right here in Lukeville. More wall breaches, more mass incursions into the area. Predominantly hundreds of single adults crossing illegally. A lot of them coming in from all over the world. Some of the countries we encountered yesterday from Africa, Congo, Guinea, Senegal. Others from Colombia and Ecuador.
Wait a minute. Those first four, Africa, Guinea, Congo, Senegal, are those in South America? I'm just wondering, how did they get here? I didn't know those were connected to South America. But nonetheless, for some reason, they feel the need to leave their continent, come all the way to our continent, start off in South America. Now, understand, if these were legitimate asylum requests, they would get on an airplane and they would bypass paying the bootleg raggedy cartel. See, you don't want to be on the hook with them. So why spend $6,000 for them to bring you across our border when you can just spend $6,000 to fly straight into America and say, hey, listen, I'm here for asylum. Why? Oh, because it's going to be a little tougher for you to come in here through our airports when you have a bogus asylum request claim. That's why. See, and they have already coached you guys and showed you guys the bypass method of going to South America first, and you can bypass going through customs, all those questions at the airport being sent. See, you could do that if you just get to South America and decide, you know what, I'm going to pay for a ticket or boat ride there. Then I'm going to pay the cartel to bring me across the border. And I think that's a, acceptable investment for my automatic citizenship in America. I don't have to pay the bucks that folks in line have to pay. I don't have to study the test. I don't have to memorize stuff. I don't have to get up and make a pledge. I don't have to go through none of that. I just got to go through the southern border and I'm good. So look at all these countries, man, coming in. And then there's South American countries too as well.
Ecuador.
What I would do as president is several more things because things have changed. I would, in fact, make sure that we immediately surge to the border. Surge to the border.
Listen.
What? Somebody said, catching me live. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, did y'all hear the Pied Piper? Y'all hear that Pied Piper get out there like, the border's open. Search the border. No illegals. Everyone's welcome. A better life. The Pied Piper was out there calling all of these people. And here they are. But the border is secure. Here we go.
Listen to these numbers. Just in the last 3 weeks alone in this Tucson sector, Border Patrol reports there have been more than 54,000 illegal crossings, and that does not include any of the known gotaways. And that
54,000 crossings, not including the gotaways. Look at that sea of people out there waiting on the lawn somewhere. And I saw a video last night where they decided to use that lawn as their receptacle in their trash cans. And it's just filled with trash. And the Biden administration don't care nothing about that. Nothing about that. So let's go ahead and continue because remember, Chameleon just told us the border is secure. But the immigration system needs to be revamped. It's been broke for years. Not like under y'all. I mean, this is the brokest it's ever been. You don't break things worse than that. This ain't a little bit of broke. Hey, Tony, my remote control car, his wheel is a little wobbly. Oh, that's no problem. Just screw it in a little tighter. No, this is, I bring it to you and it's in little teeny, itty bitty pieces. In fact, it's in powder. It's in powder form. And people can't even recognize it. They're saying, so what is that? That's my former remote control car. What did you do? Burn it? Did you disintegrate it? That's the problem. This ain't one of those, oh, just got a squeaky wheel here. This is, you just disintegrated it. You blow it up. Beyond repair at this point under their regime. So let's continue.
As usual, everything happening down here is controlled by the Mexican drug cartels on the other side of the border.
But wait a minute. Look at all that money. I love this meme. Benny Johnson, and they be putting together some memes. Look at that. That's salsa. And Tony Montana. Yeah, man. And she celebrated. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, come on, everybody. Get up on your feet. Yeah, we broke that mess. We did it, yo. We did it, yo. Yeah, you sure did. That's what the cartels are down there enjoying. They're like Tony Montana, okay? Yeah, like salsa. Having a great time at our expense. And then you got Mucus running around saying that we are taking it to the border, the cartels, and we are putting forth all the effort to stop the fentanyl from coming in. Mayorkas. Yeah, I call him Mucus. So Mucus is running around telling us, though, they're taking it to the cartel. And yet the cartel is controlling our southern border. Now, isn't that amazing? They're the deciders of who can come across the border or not. You can't make this up, man. I mean, the most powerful nation on the planet is selectively powerful. I mean, we could go out there and stop all kind of other countries, and we can do all kind of stuff and subvert governments and overthrow governments and assassinate folks and threaten other countries. If y'all don't do this, we're going to blow you off the map. But we ain't got no control over our own southern border. Cartel with primitive weapons and stuff, limited resources, are like, look, man, yeah, we run this. They're treating us like Mad Max Thunderdome. They're running Bartertown, and I don't like it. I don't like the cartel calling up Mucus like that. Mucus, who runs Bartertown? The cartel runs Bartertown. Who? The cartel runs Bartertown. Thank you, Mucus. Okay, I'll see you at my family's picnic, okay, see? Okay, yes, I'll see you there. Adios. That's what's going on, man. So let's continue looking at our border being secure right here with lots of illegal immigrants coming on trains. Yeah, it's secure. That looks very secure. Isn't it crazy how Democrats tell you the opposite of what your eyes see? That's the ultimate disrespect to your intelligence. See, that right there is the ultimate gaslighting. I mean, you get mad when people do that stuff to you. It's one thing if you're not sitting there looking at it. Do you understand how mad folks get with their kids when their kids lie to them with the evidence in their hands? You come in there, they're standing there with the popsicle, and you're going, what is that? At the popsicle? Well, how'd you get it? I went to the freezer to get it. Didn't I tell you not to get popsicles out the freezer? Did you say? I don't even remember. Okay, yeah, I remember you had said that. Why'd you get it? I was bringing it to you. There you go. That's the stuff that makes you go. Now, see, you think I'm dumb. I'm sitting here looking at everything opposite of what you're telling me. This woman just sat here and said, the border is secure, as all the evidence says. Does that look secure to you? But this is the boldness of the left. This is the gaslighting tactics they use. And so now forget what your eyes are seeing, because listen to what Community has to say.
We have a secure border.
Why do you think they're doing this? Why would they be bringing in these tens of thousands? I mean, 20 buses a day, 1,000 more per day. Why would they be doing this? And what's your message?
Wait a minute. Somebody done went to the streets to talk about the impact of this the border crisis that's actually secure, but we still got the problem. And I guess the problem's so bad that it is finally leaked into inner cities. And it ain't sitting right in their gut, y'all. It is not sitting right in their gut. So now, listen to this man talking to these brothers up in Short Town. All right, he's up there in Short Town, and he's asking them, why do you think they're doing this? Why do you think they're doing this, huh? Now, listen to this black replacement theorist, this street black replacement theorist, okay? I'm sure he's a Trump supporting white nationalist, xenophobe, and all of that stuff. So let's hear what he has to say about this.
The only reason that I can see that they would be doing this is to replace us.
Oh, snap! To replace us. Now, I'm sure he didn't come up with that all on his own. I'm sure he was influenced by Trump supporters and right-wing extremist channels that he probably sits up all night watching. I'm sure that's what's going on, why that black guy was able to conclude that they're doing this to replace us. And it's in twofolds. They're not only trying to replace the black failing votes for the Democrat because many black folks just don't come out and vote. But they're also trying to replace a voting base that no longer wants to vote for them. It's that simple. So this guy figured that out all on his own. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that's not going to be featured on CNN or MSNBC, who are going after Vivek Ramaswamy for replacement theorists and Trump and Steve Bannon and all of these people and Tucker Carlson. Yeah, they're always talking about replacement theory. So, yeah, I wonder if they're going to go after that brother right there. But replacement theory, that's just a rumor. Not according to Mayor Conehead, y'all. Here's his reason why Shite Town is being overran with illegal immigrants. Here we go. Conehead in effect.
And we have just learned in the last couple of hours that the city of Chicago has impounded a migrant bus for the first time. The city council passing a measure today to start impounding buses that do not obtain a permit from CDOT and don't drop the migrants off at the designated landing zone. Now, after the vote, Mayor Johnson spoke about the need for the ordinance to make sure new arrivals are brought to an area where city employees are ready to help.
So wait a minute. So Abbott's been sending these buses up to Short Town, the same city that said we're a sanctuary city and we're going to embrace these people and there's no such thing as an illegal and all of that stuff. And now they done got there. And Mayor Johnson, who is taking a lot of heat from his voters, he's now blaming it on the buses and stuff. Yeah, he's going ahead and reverting to stopping the buses and impounding them. Now, I just heard Mayor Abbott went ahead and sidestepped him, and he's starting to fly people in, just like Creepy Sleepy and all of them do in the middle of the night when they fly all these illegal immigrants in on, Boeing 747s and stuff like that. So he's just adapting and adjusting. So let's see what's going on with this chess match between Mayor Conehead and Abbott.
Putting these companies on notice that this blatant disregard of the city regulations will not be tolerated.
The mayor telling us tonight that multiple buses could be impounded.
Meanwhile, Judy, right now, 25th Ward Alderman Byron Siccho Lopez has just gone into the shelter to conduct what he calls an emergency walkthrough of a place that, according to city records, houses as many as 2,300 migrants, and where, according to those we have spoken to today, there might be an outbreak of illness amongst both children and adults. Last night, a 5-year-old boy died following what appears to have been a medical emergency that many of those who live here say began inside a bathroom.
Oh, snap! So they didn't put these kids and these people in a warehouse, and one of the kids got sick and died, and they can't have that type of PR. Yeah, see, remember, this is supposed to be a utopian society for illegal immigrants. We don't want the PR to go out that these people are sleeping outside, sleeping inside of police stations. They don't like their accommodations, and folks are sickly and they're dying. So now watch Mayor Conehead come out here and try to misplace this blame all over the place. Y'all ready for this attempt to gaslight us?
For the family, and we are obviously deeply sorry and hurt by this loss.
Are you deeply sorry and hurt by the loss of all of the young folks that shot every weekend in your city? I mean, I think last weekend was 20 people shot, one 15-year-old found in the back of a trunk dead. There you go. All those people shot, 20 of them, over just one weekend. Do you come out and make press conferences about that? I never hear him come out and address that. So let's finish hearing him apologize because he's deeply sorry and offended. But it ain't my fault. Did I do that? It ain't my fault.
And it's not lost on any of us here that the conditions in which people are showing up in Chicago, they're worse.
What?
The last reporter just indicated. They're just dropping all people anywhere. Do you understand how raggedy and how evil that is?
Oh, here we go. Oh, y'all see Mayor Conehead right there. You know what? Do you understand how raggedy and evil that is? You know what I'm saying? Now I'm about to try to preach a sermon to y'all and go church on y'all, okay? See, let me tell you something, sisters and brothers. Welcome to the Church of Cone. Well, now it's raggedy and evil to bring these folks here sick, even though we said, come on, come on, to this place right here. This here is a sanctuary city that we done committed ourselves to supporting and ourselves. All of that mess. So now let's hear him go ahead and talk his conehead way out of this.
You're just going to put people on a bus and just take them somewhere and drop them off in the middle of the night? And then you want to hold us accountable for something that's happened down at the border?
But Mayor Conehead ain't got nothing to say about the Biden administration that bust these people all up and down the country and also drop these folks off in the middle of the night in all kind of places and say, peace, see you when I see ya, wouldn't want to be ya. He ain't got nothing to say about that. Conehead sitting up there with that cone on top of his head, trying to balance it out, talking about something, you know what? This is raggedy. Dropping these folks off in the middle of the night. You know what I think is more raggedy? Is these people having to come through all those conditions just to get to the country. Any place in America got to be better than the desert. I'm just saying. They're better than the trip that they made to get here. But he's talking about, you know what, these people, right, just drop them off in the middle of the night. We have a country that, honestly, you probably could survive. You get dropped off, you'd be like, oh, is there McDonald's somewhere? I'm sure they're throwing food away. Yeah, I'm going to go into this public bathroom in here, sitting here all day under the heater talking about something. Just a minute. Just give me 10 more minutes. So here's Mayor Conehead saying that this Governor Abbott's fault because he's raggedy. Here we go.
It's sickening. And so, but just know that our work is not done.
Oh, y'all hear him going sermon again. But just know that our work ain't done. It's just begun. God put this conehead in Chicago to go ahead and destroy everything and tear it up. I am the judgment that God sent for stupidity. I'm here to wake all of you Chicagoans up to understand stupid when it shows up in your face. That's what he should be saying to him. That's what he should. But instead, he's using that conehead to push all kind of propaganda and tell the people it's Abbott's fault.
But let's be very clear. You know where this is promulgating from, right? You do know that, right? You have a governor in Texas that can care less about those families and literally dropping them off, not just in Chicago, but anywhere and everywhere.
Wow. You do know that, right? You do know that, right? See, where it's stemming from. Because the show ain't stemming from mucus in the Biden administration. No. See, let me tell you where it's stemming from. It's stemming from a governor down there in Texas. This is dropping these people. Don't care nothing about these people, dropping them off all kind of places, any and everywhere. That's where it's stemming from. Not the man we just watched a few minutes ago say, search the border. Not Chameleon Harris that just lied to us and said the border is secure, but, not that. It's not stemming from them. It's stemming from Abbott sending these people to cities and states to say, we want them. We want them. Now, isn't that crazy that this man is misplacing all that blame? He can't figure out the source of the problem, yo. He thinks it's stemming from Abbott, bypassing the real source. So let's continue hearing him lie to his people. And then let's listen to the dumb congregation that starts to support this.
It's wicked
It's wicked. No, you're wicked. And so is that cone on top of your head. You big liar, you. It's wicked. You big sellout to your own state, your own city, your own country, your own black folks that you claim you're down with. All of that. You're the problem. But you're sitting there talking about it's wicked. And he thinks he dropped the mic. That's the sad part about what Conehead just did. That man sitting there like, it's wicked. Any other questions? Sick of these folk come up here trying to test my patience. Let's see how he responds to some of the other questions and accusations. Here we go.
Staff denied requests for an ambulance to be called to provide medical help.
What's that?
From those details, is the administration is investigating whether medical help?
We're gathering information, as I've said before, at every single site throughout the city of Chicago.
What?
We provide on-site medical care. Oh. In fact, the county government...
I want some of that on-site medical care. I don't want to have to leave my facility to go to the hospital or the doctor's office. I want them living at my crib and getting paid to go ahead and make sure if anything goes wrong. We're here for you. I want cooks and chefs and, cleaning service and, I want all of that too for free. So here he is talking about we do have medical assistance on site and all of that stuff. Now, my question to this guy who's blaming Abbott, do you think the cartel had that when they were traveling through all of those countries and cities and the coyotes were taking them across and all this? Do you think they had on-site medical service? You think these illegal immigrants were worried about that then? You think they were like, all right, if I'm going to make this trip, I want some insurances. Do you have medical? Okay. Do you have a staff on standby just in case anybody getting? No? Okay. Do you have? They didn't have any of that. None of that. But here he is now blaming Abbott for them being sick when they got here. Yeah, because, that's what it is. Abbott, before he could ship them to you, have to go ahead and do a physical to make sure none of them are sick. Nobody got the sniffles, none of that, before he sends them to you. Now, even if they showed up hacking and coughing, if I was Abbott, I would still be like, send them up to Chicago, because either way, somebody got to pay for these people. It's an absolute emergency, what I'm saying. There's obviously a danger to this person's life right now. But if you coughing and sniffing, you can make the trip. Peace. Go up there and let them fit the bill. But here he is talking about his sick. Any other questions?
Has just put forth more dollars for more health care. But I want you to hear me good. They're showing
hear me good.
Sick.
Y'all hear that? I want you to hear me and hear me good. They're showing up sick. But wait a minute. Wait just a minute. Mayor Conehead, as you're getting up there, preaching that sermon, I thought you say bring all you're sick and weary, cause Chicago, I'm sorry, y'all, Chicago is a sanctuary city that tells y'all to bring all your weary, bring all your sick, bring all your brokenhearted, bring all of your folks escaping for climate change, bring all your displaced folks, the folks that are escaping because they're persecuted for transgender rights, they're persecuted for bring them all, man. Dang on it. I'm sure the congregation of Chicago would be ecstatic to step in and start giving their tithes and their offerings to take care of all of these illegal immigrants that has been brought to your city. It's the sanctuary city. I mean, just the name alone, that gives me hope, makes me say, if I can get to the sanctuary city, I'll be free. But yet they get there, you're talking about why you're here. Are you sick? You need to go back down there. You know what? You people right. Why are you turning away these buses, huh, Cone? You're a sanctuary city. It's like the church saying, we want everybody to come. Everybody's welcome. Oh, wait. We got too many, not you. All right, you people right there, get out of here. Salvation is on hold for you guys. All right, that we're being overloaded, even though we put a big billboard out there saying, come one, come all. But now he got a problem with the folks coming in like we're at the sanctuary city. We want our deliverance. So let's continue. Here we go.
Do you hear me?
Do you hear me?
They're showing up sick.
Showing up sick.
The issue is not just how we respond in the city of Chicago. It's the fact that we have a governor.
Wow.
A governor, an elected official in the state of Texas that is placing families on buses without shoes, cold, wet, tired, hungry, afraid, traumatized,
Well,
and then they come to the city of Chicago
and get nothing. Get rejected. We got a governor down there that put them on there. They ain't got no shoes, clothes, covering, no food, no money. They get here and we say we ain't got none either. You need to take your butts back down near to Texas. That's how that works. See, you hear this guy trying to get all deep and spiritual without addressing any of the real issues, not addressing the problems, none of that stuff. That guy's all over the place. He's like, yo, what I'm gonna get up here and do is go into my ethnic rhythmic, flow here, and all that stuff. Make folks think I'm spiritual and I'm deep and I'm soulful. See, so once I get into that mode, you can't really attack me because I'm in my blackness. Can't attack the black, okay? All right, so once I go and all that, and there ain't no food, no clothes, no. Once I do that, I'm untouchable. See, I done activated the blackness. So here he is going into all of this, and it actually works on a couple dummies in the crowd, as we hear it behind. So he's talking about all of this stuff. What else?
We have homelessness. We have mental health clinics that have been shut down and closed. You have people who are seeking employment.
Yeah.
So,
and that is exactly why you shouldn't be a sanctuary city, you big dummy. You right now are one big dumb cone head as he's highlighting all the things that Chicagoans don't have while still remaining a sanctuary city. So, Mayor Cone, you're the problem. There it is, along with that cone sitting on top of your head as a grown man. But you're the problem. So if you really want to be about it and stop Abbott from sending those people to your city, how about you declare you're no longer a sanctuary city? That'll shut it down. Hey, yo, man, I know we made that decision early, but it ain't working out. And I kind of understand why Abbott is having a problem, because guess what? We're having one too. So instead of being able to understand and empathize with border states that in the past, before this started happening, it was these folks like this saying, shut your mouths, stop whining, stop complaining, you're bigots. That's the only reason you don't want these people coming into your state and your cities. But now all of a sudden, they're getting a real-time dose of what border states have to deal with, and they don't like it. But instead of saying, I get it, I learned the lesson, I understand why y'all are saying, yo, man, y'all can't be bringing these people, look, I get it. Instead of that, you guys are still to blame. Even though we're the ones that persecuted you guys, we went ahead and demonized y'all, and now they're here. We welcomed them here. We wanted them to come, but we didn't think they was coming. Now they're here. We're going to complain about them being here through blaming you guys for sending them to us, even though we asked for them to come. Now, he's trying to pull this off, and it's, I guess, working for some people, but not me.
the governor of Texas needs to take a look in the mirror of the chaos that he is causing.
Y'all hear that? Y'all? Man, Mayor Conehead is something else, man. Okay. I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. He's telling Abbott to look in the mirror. See the immigrants in the street without enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their needs? A broken bottle top. Why is Mayor Conehead up here talking about you need to look in that mirror, Abbott? That's why I want you to know I'm starting. No, you need to look in that mirror first, Conehead, and say, why am I 40 and I got a mohawk on my head? That's the first question you should ask the mirror on the wall. Secondly, you should be saying, why am I being pimped out by the Biden administration and all of them that are making me act as if this is okay? Packing these people into our city and neglecting our own citizens. So according to Mayor Conehead, it's not his fault. Even though that black guy we saw that said they're trying to replace them and it's a problem. And forget what that guy got to say. Mayor Conehead said, nah, that ain't our fault. Did we do that? So here we go.
For this country.
Oh,
this is not just a Chicago dynamic.
No.
He is attacking our country. the sensibility and the civility of our country, he is undermining that.
Wow, that guy's all over the lane. He is all over the lane. Like, yo, man, I'm hoping I hit something. So now Abbott's attacking the country, the civility of our country. Just words, that are hidden behind his, his blackness, his attitude, all of that stuff. I'm black and I can do this. See, you can't question me because of the way that I'm dropping it out there. Attacking this country. I mean, all of that crap ain't working with me. See, that's the awesome part about that. All of that juking and jiving doesn't work with me. All that shucking and hucking and bucking don't work with me. Doesn't work. So at some point, you got to produce. You got to make sense. So instead of addressing the real problem, he's over here talking about Abbott's a threat to the country. Abbott's doing this. Abbott's doing that. But what about you, Cone? What about you, Cone?
Free.
Look at the one clap. We good. Y'all see? Still in this black mode, y'all. It's all good. We good. It's cool. I got this. He disgustes me. And that's why I need a press pass. That's why I need to get to Shite-Town right away. Somebody send me a ticket to Shite-Town. I'd be up there tomorrow talking about some... Mayor Conehead, I watched your interview where you blamed Abbott for all these problems. First of all, I want to come up there and cut that cone right off the top of your head. But secondly, let's get to these lies and this misplaced blame about these illegal immigrants. I lay that mic right on top of that cone. All right, let's continue. Look at it. Who else wants that?
This morning, and what is more ambulances show up there. Is it time to reevaluate?
Is it time to reevaluate?
Warehouses.
These warehouses. Since a kid died in it, yeah.
So I want to make sure I understand your question.
Okay.
Hold on. I got you. I just want to repeat back to me. I'm going to repeat to you what I believe you're
Please
asking.
do. Let's see his interpretation.
You're asking me, based upon an out-of-control governor who is sending busloads of people all over the country.
Boy, I tell you, they stick to it, man. They stick to their strategy. Did you hear this fool? He straight said, let me make sure. Let me just make sure I understand your question. Now, you want to talk about a complete flip the script? This is one of those situations. Your woman come in, catch you right there, butt naked, doing the nasty. What is this? How could you do this to me? Wait, let me understand. Let me make sure I understand the question. You wanting to ask me, what am I doing and how could I do this to you? Based on the fact that you should have been at work and there's no reason for you to be home at no noon. You understand that? That's what you asking me. You're asking me, why did I do this and how could I do this? And yet your butt had the nerve to come home early and catch me. That's how ridiculous this guy is right here. Straight went to Abbott, y'all. Straight went to Abbott.
You're asking if Chicago should evaluate how it handles the migrant crisis?
No, that's not what I'm asking.
Okay.
That's not what I'm asking you, Conehead.
We've had at least one death at this particular shelter.
At least one
We've
death.
seen more ambulances show up at this particular shelter this morning.
More people showing up at that shelter.
Does the city need to reevaluate the practice of using the warehouses, which were never designed for human habitation, as a solution in the migrant crisis?
Sensible question. Okay, we're not here to hear about Abbott. I want to know, do y'all need to reevaluate housing these people in warehouses? Because they're sick already and more showing up. So now, we can't say, well, yes, we should do that. And in fact, we already are building stupid tents that got shut down because of zoning and because of a hazard stuff we tried to build it on. And we have really no other place to put these people. So we're going to keep packing them into that warehouse. I don't care how sick they get. But instead of him going ahead and addressing that, what does he do, y'all?
As I said before, they are showing up sick. Listen, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it sounds like you're drawing a conclusion based upon a site. What I'm simply saying is when they get here, hold on. Listen, I am saying that...
No, we're drawing that conclusion based upon the facts. That they're sick in there. You're not a doctor. You don't know when they got sick. He's not going to sit back and give you the evaluation of the doctor. He's not going to give you the coroner's report. He's not going to say, well, yeah, this kid got sick while they were here. He's not going to say the kid got sick on the way here. He don't want those details. He's just going to say They're all sick on the way. So that means anybody that is here illegally and they're in that facility and they get sick, you think he's going to accept that blame? You think he's going to say, yeah, it could have happened right here under my watch in this facility? Or is he going to say, you know what? It's always, they're sick before they get here. Every single time. All of these people are always sick before they get here. And when they get here, they get sicker. Well, heck, you are coming to Shite Town. There's a lot of shite in that town. A lot of pestilence, a lot of feces, a lot of crap going on. So I can see you're getting sick in Short Town, but let's continue.
They're showing up sick. Are you hearing me? They're showing up sick. And so we are doing everything in our power to treat the conditions in which they're arriving in. As far as us reevaluating our mission, look, an international crisis,
there it is.
A global population shift based upon policies that have been promulgated for the last 20 years.
Holy moly! We just heard Chameleon Harris say the same thing, guys. So when they all get into their evil meetings, all right, let's talk to what's going on in Chicago. Well, we're getting hassled about this immigration thing. We don't know how much longer we can hold on. Mucus. Well, here's what you do. Remember to stick to the talking point. We're going to send you a memo of the quickest and easiest automatic responses to these questions. That is exactly what that is. It is a built-in automatic response. They look at these sheets probably and be like, all right, if it's just like sales. If you've ever been in sales, they come up with frequently asked questions and give you responses to them. There you go. So that is why we keep hearing this come out of them every time they get questioned about the immigration crisis. He's reverting back to reading that bulletin. What do I do when they ask me a question about immigration? And well, look, we're dealing with a global crisis that dates back 20 years ago. Wait, what else did they tell me to say? That has been going on in the United States because of the displacement and the policies of the United States. Well, what about those policies? Let's see.
That have caused the nighttime,
let's see. I want to know.
Shift based upon policies that have been promulgated for the last 20 years.
Which ones? There it is. That's my next question. Excuse me, Cone. Which policies? And do these policies apply to Yemen, Ethiopia, China, Russia, Iran, Afghanistan? These people are coming from all over the globe. Which policies are you referring to? And is the response to these policies to, well, you know what? Since we broke it, we got to fix it. So bring in everybody from every country that we've had any involvement in. Is that the solution, Cone? Watch that blow that cone right off the top of his head. That simple response, that simple follow-up question. Please tell me which policies and which countries, because we got people coming in from all countries across the globe. And then finally, even if you give me some policies that might have hurt or displaced some people, how long ago was it? Is it really displacement? Are these people claiming asylum because of these issues that you say the United States and their policies caused? Or are they coming here and reading off a script? I'm here for the climate change, and also I'm here for the gang violence thingamajigger. These are the things that if you just ask these people, it'll blow them up. Because he's on a script right now. That's what he is. He's on a script and he's going through his whole talking points, and he knows nobody's going to follow up with that type of intellect.
That have caused the nighttime, not just the sanctions, but have caused displacement for the entire globe.
The entire globe. But yet, for some reason, the entire globe are converging upon the United States. They're all being dispersed. They're bypassing all these other countries and saying, let's go ahead and converge right to the United States. Have we done that much damage to where 100 and some countries are fleeing here? You would think if we were that bad and did that much damage, this would be the last place they would want to come. It's simple thoughts like that. Simple, common sense, I say, well, that doesn't make sense. If we are that bad, why would they want to come here? If we displaced them, well, let's go to the place that displaced us. So let's continue destroying Mayor Conehead.
I just want us to understand in the city of Chicago, we are not alone in this crisis.
Don't you be pronouncing it like that. I want to hear the real enunciation of that word. It's shite-cago. It's shite-cago. Get it right, Mayor Cone. So let's continue.
There are hundreds of thousands of people being displaced from the continent of Africa.
How?
From
Why?
Central and South America. So this question about
Look at that. Just throw stuff out there. Do you hear this fool? South America, from Africa, from why and where are they going? Why are they being displaced? See, they're never going to get into the whys. They're only coached to give you the initial answer and say fill in the blanks and believe me. That's all I'm asking you to believe what I'm telling you. That these people are being displaced from Africa all over the globe. Nobody asked why. Where are they going? Why aren't they going to countries over in Africa? They're going to go ahead and traffic all the way to the United States and end up in your shite town. There you go.
Evaluated. How about we do this? How about we reevaluate all of our international policies?
No, how about we reevaluate our voting policies, our voting choices in Chicago? Because somehow they put your butt in office and you're up here gaslighting them. You're disrespecting their intelligence by telling them it's not my problem. It's Abbott's fault. It's the United States broken border policies. It's 20 years of displacement. It's climate change. It's everybody but me. This guy gets me sick, man. Gets me sick, like the kids say. You get me sick. Ooh.
That are causing the chaos that we're experiencing right now. And let's evaluate the sanctity of someone in Texas who disregards people. That's what we should be reevaluating.
Boy, that guy got he got a pear on him that's rolled up in his stomach. There you go. They're really, really teeny. See, because he ain't got enough bass in that voice, first of all. We're evaluating the policies that, you know what, this person and Unbelievable. But guys, I don't think the brothers is buying it. So let's go back to the streets because see, Mayor, Conehead just told us a whole bunch of garbage about displacement, Mayor Abbott and all that stuff. Let's see what the people in Shitetown are starting to feel.
We say Trump 2024.
What?
Because Trump is the only one who's going to do something about this.
Oh, no,
and partner with all of America. This is where all of America has got to come together and put a stop to this. We have to send these people back where they come from. Or this is going to explode violently. It's going to explode on multiple fronts. And the mayor and his governor doesn't care.
The mayor and his governor don't care. Wow. I wonder if Mayor Conehead listened to that man right there and what he had to say. He sounds like a Trump supporter. He sounds like a replacement there. Sounds like a xenophobe right there. Let's finish hearing from the brothers on the streets.
And since they don't care, then we must go red. We must link up with all of America. And we care and we have to do something about it. We're coming for every elected official that didn't step up and all those that supported this mass wipe out of our communities.
Oh, wait, we're all of the soul brother number one black folks around the country, especially during Trump's first run where he was out there talking about we got to send these people back. We got to shut our border down. And all of a sudden they were all like, did you hear Trump? Trump right now is our racist. He don't want brown and colored people. And now the Biden administration done brought in a whole bunch of brown and colored people and they're wiping out the same black communities that all of the black folks, for whatever reason, got on board and behind the Democrat Party because they gaslit them into thinking that the plight and the struggle of these illegal immigrants that are willfully coming to our country is equivalent to the struggle and the history of black Americans. There you go. Look, they're separating and ripping kids from these people who made a conscious decision to come to our border illegally. Just like your ancestors who didn't make a conscious decision and was dragged off, thrown on a boat and brought here, and their kids ripped. See, but you can see the parallel, can't you, black folks? So y'all should support this, right? It's unreal. But now it seems like some black folks in Chicago is waking up.
We coming for you. By the time Trump gets ready to run in November, Chicago is going to look like a sea of red.
I hope
when that Democratic Nasty Convention get here, you're going to see...
That Democrat Nasty Convention. Y'all hear that guy? When that Democrat Nasty Convention gets here, because that's what it is. It's a Democrat Nasty Convention. When it gets here, what we gonna see?
So many red t-shirts that you're gonna think you're in Texas.
Oh, snap. Now you talking about an egg on the face, and oh my gosh, I really wish that the RNC would contact me and get rid of Ronald McDonald right now. Put me on the wheels of steel. We'll blow it out the water. Because my thought is, did anybody reach out to Trump and show him any? They're up in Chicago asking and begging to turn red. All of the folks that normally the left would use as saying these people hate Trump, they're black and this and that. We got an opportunity, if we seize upon it right now, to really change a huge narrative. These people need to let the rest of this completely brainwashed country know that, hey, we're a whole black city, whole black community over here being abused by the Democrat Party. And the same illegal immigrants y'all claim, you know what, you can't look at these people as illegal, everybody's illegal, and there's no such thing as an illegal human, and all of that stuff. The same black people that y'all claim we're looking out for disenfranchised, underprivileged black folks, they're using these people to destroy our neighborhoods, our education system, our medical system, all of that, our resources. They're destroying us. They don't even care. They're like, shove them in there and using black leaders like Mayor Conehead to do it. And if we would capitalize off this and get these folks in the midst of them feeling the pain, it could be a game changer. But no. So I don't know if Trump even knows this is going on up in Chicago. I hope somebody in his camp is going, hey, man, dude, they mad. They mad up there. They've been asking for you, Trump. Y'all didn't see the Trump sign up there, like the bat sign? They're up there going, we need Trump to come here. So I hope he makes a detour and shows up there and march with these people. Listen to this.
Enough is enough. We just can't give it away to foreign nationals. No other country's going to allow us to cut in.
Why, you sound like Tucker Carlson.
You have American citizens of African American descent that have built this country and built the great city of Chicago. They are the broad shoulders that have built this city.
But who cares about that, Steve Bannon? Because you're a white nationalist. You probably don't mean it anyway. You don't really care about these black people. You're just saying that because you hate people of color. You don't want more of them to come to the country. So now you're just you're trying to appeal to the black. You know how they'll do it. They'll discredit what Steve Bannon is saying because he's alt-right. And then they'll say these black men who were just complaining about that, they're just brainwashed because black men aren't intelligent enough to make good choices. Once they leave that plantation, that's ridiculous. What are you doing? Get your butt back over here and use a lot of black females, unfortunately, that vote for the Democrats to go ahead and say, I can't believe you as a black man going to sell out and this and this and that. I can't stand when I hear that. Oh, it burns me up. I'm glad we got some sisters in the chat. They will never do that. Let's continue.
And they are being disrespected by the Biden regime, the entire uniparty, the globalists, because now they're forcing illegal alien invaders into a city that doesn't have the resources to care for its citizens in healthcare, in education, in police protection, in economics, in anything. And now they have to bear the brunt to it. And they're two guys, these progressive whites that run this deal.
Progressive whites that run this deal. You think Mayor Conehead's running the show? No, he ain't running the show. There's progressive whites that run that show and say, you shut up. You saw what we did to Mayor Peanut up there in New York. You want some of that, huh? Talking about some New York as a brand. We destroyed that brand and we'll destroy his name, reputation, and everything. Now, did you get the hint? Hush up, boy. So there it is. These folks are being used to go out there and funnel all these people right to their cities and tell them to hush up, boys and girls. That's what's happening. So I think the black people are starting to realize that, and I hope they follow through with these I guess, threats.
Are too gutless to have them in there, just like they're not in the Upper East Side of New York or the Upper West Side. They're not down by Northwestern University.
It's something in their minds that makes them believe that they'll do this to us and we do nothing in return. This is not just for Chicago for us. We've reached all across the country to.
What could be in their mind and make them think that, brother? Because, see, I'm feeling you. I'm down with what you're saying, bro. But could it be that they're so used to black people voting for them, regardless of how they treat them, that they don't feel the need to make an adjustment? They could send a Mayor Conehead out there because he's black. See, he's black, and he can go ahead and say, and y'all, you know what? We gonna get through this, and we got to stick together. And let me tell you something. It's all good. It's all good, baby. Don't worry about it. We could send a guy like that out there, and a lot of black people say, "Well, I'd rather vote for him because he is black. He's black, right? Okay, he's black. That means he must be looking out for us. Is he? Is he looking out for it? No, he is. Okay, yeah, because he's black. It's obvious. You know what? Forget all those questions. He's black. That's why they've been doing this and think they can get away with it.
Send them a message. We're gonna flip a message.
Black Lives Matter. I love that.
We're gonna send the strongest message to the Democratic Party that Black America, Black Chicago has ever seen. Black America is about to rise up. Now that we are the mothers and fathers, we're saying Trump 2024 across America. And we ask Trump to come to Chicago. Come here and walk these streets with us. And we'll put thousands behind him as he walks the streets.
What?
And that's a fact. That's a promise.
Wow. I hope that somebody sends that to Trump. Thousands behind him, and that's a promise. Man, if they don't go up there and meet with these people, oh, it's killing me here. It's killing me. Somebody get the message out. I know Trump's tied up with all this stupidity, but boy, if he could just make a quick pit stop, boy, that would just, I would love to see just the reaction that the liberal media would have. Can't believe this Nazi-loving white nationalist is going up there. This right here is obviously disrespecting these black folks. They would have a complete conniption if he went up there and was welcomed by all of these black folks. Just to see that alone would be worth it. So somebody send this clip to Donald Trump and tell him Kev said, get up there and check out these black people and bring me with you. I need to be up there with him as a spokesperson, just in case somebody get tricky. All right, I'll handle this, Trump. Right now, they're going to send to the mold. Listen here, bruh, shut up. All right, next question. Go ahead, President. I'm sorry you were interrupted. Let's continue. Here we go.
I think better than anybody, the black people in Chicago understand exactly what's been going on. And you know, I'm standing here beside Mark, but this has been a fight that has really been going on, I would say, for almost a decade, if not longer. It's just come to a head because it's almost like we're being slapped in the face.
Slapped in the face?
With 20,000 plus illegal aliens, foreign nationals in our city, devouring resources really that we are not able to have access to.
We had all we can stand and we can't stand no more. That's what it takes to get black folks in Chicago to wake up, and hopefully in New York and other countries, cities rather than states. It takes them having a eye-opening experience and a blatant form of disrespect for them to say we're in an abusive relationship. Yeah, 20,000 people. Man, shut your mouth. I don't see what y'all problem is, man. Look, take care of these folks, man. We'll be back in a while. I'm going back up to my mansion. Peace. What? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Deal with it, bruhs. Okay? Being abused will make you wake up. But sometimes it takes that abuse that is so bad where you go, well, I can't believe this. I always thought that my wife was doing something crazy, but now she's bringing the crazy. She ain't even hiding no more. She's just straight out in the open. Yeah, I always thought she was, somebody who had crazy potential. When I first met her and we were out in the mall and somebody came up to me and said, hey, Kev, long time no see. And the lady walked away and I looked over and she was looking at me like this. Who was that? I should have caught it right then. But now all of a sudden, there's rabbits and pots inside the house is showing up. And my tires are being slashed and, stuff like that. Now, all of a sudden, I'm going, she's not even discreet. Yeah, she's beyond that. She's like, I'm going to let you know I'm full-blown crazy. So once you get to that point where you're going, wow, this is bad. They ain't even hiding it. I once was confused, like, maybe. Now I'm like, oh, no, she's crazy. Same thing with these black people up in Chicago. At first, it was like, well, they're still black. And the Democrats are looking out for us, I'm pretty sure. And they always saying there's other people who's responsible for this. Until they said, here you go, 20,000 people. Now, you can't look past that to other people. When the people you've been looking at are the ones that shoved them right there into your city. And Brandon Johnson wants y'all to look past his decisions, his actions, and the Democrat policies, and look all the way down to Texas. Look past those 20,000 people, guys. Look down there at Abbott. I hate to have to break out these metaphors like this. Let's continue.
live in community colleges that we can't afford to go to. Wow. They have open air, black markets and things like that, and we have to pay an 11% sales tax just to get a loaf of bread. So I think we completely understand and have understood. I think finally people are listening to the cries and the complaints of Black Chicago and what's been going on with this progressive city. Well, we already had limited law enforcement resources. Crime has been I would say through the roof in Chicago, especially in many black neighborhoods. And now what you have are these transnational gangs that are compounding that issue.
Wait a minute. I thought that all these illegal immigrants were coming for a better life. And they're all little gentle woodland creatures. They wouldn't harm a hair on anybody's head. But now this man right here appears to be saying that they're bringing crime, they're bringing drugs, they're bringing murder, and I'm sure some of them are good people. But now I'm wondering if CNN is going to run a story talking about this black man calls all immigrants, drug dealers. There's going to be that element that comes with all of these people. You think 20,000 of these illegal immigrants are going to come in and all be peaceful, law-abiding citizens? You don't think a whole bunch of crooks and criminals done slid in, especially when they're all being thrown in a certain low-income area and they don't have resources themselves? This is a perfect opportunity to them to set up all types of criminal operations. All types. And yet our dumb government is doing this on purpose. And these folks are calling it out. And they're not white nationalists, y'all.
And our law enforcement apparatus is hampered. There's little to no accountability. And so these people are allowed to, this is just inhumane for black residents and all residents of the city of Chicago. It's also inhumane for the people that they're bringing up here.
That's
when
true.
We know there's no real houses, no real jobs. There's nothing for them here. So it's terrible all the way around.
I ain't got nothing for you, man. That man spoke with nothing but straight up knowledge. And I feel bad for these illegal immigrants. I really do. I mean, they got sold a bill of lies. They got sold a pipe dream. The Pied Piper, Creepy Sleepy, was up there telling them to come on, search the border. And many of them came during a time where resources might have been plentiful. But what happened is when you say surge the border and you get an influx like this that filters beyond the border states. Now they're filtered in across the country into some of their cities and states, and now they're realizing that we have limited resources. So yeah, we weren't expecting this big of an influx. We weren't expecting all of this. So we got to cram y'all into horrible conditions. We got to put y'all in warehouses. And hey, when y'all packed in there, all it takes is one person to get sick and everybody's sick. But Mayor Conehead, he wants to say it's because of Abbott. Somebody said, Kev, you are a true gem. Thank you so much. And guess what? Even though we're not going to be able to finish this tonight, because I don't want to go 2 hours. I went 2 hours last night. And y'all enjoyed it. Some people was like, yes, Kev went long. But I'm going to try to keep this one a little shorter, because I want to first have a reaction from another black man, y'all. Another black man who claims he's, down with the struggle. Power to the people. Now, we done heard the black men that live on the streets of Chicago and what they're seeing and how they view this immigration crisis and all of that. We heard from him, right? Let's hear from another black man with a bigger audience, a bigger influence, and he is sure enough looking out for the people. Power to the people. Let's see what this brother, or should I say brother, got to say about it. Oh, Abbott signs a bill making illegal immigration a state crime. That's a good thing, right? Here we go.
This law, which takes effect in March, allows any Texas law enforcement officer
Stephen A. Smith
to arrest people who are suspected of entering the country illegally. This is bad, ladies and gentlemen.
Is it?
But is it
though? Is it though? I'm thinking as he's reading this, I'm trying to discern where he's going with it. I'm like, he seems a little angry, a little mad, but yet what he's saying should make him jovial. Because if I'm sitting there like, Look, this Abbott signed a bill into law saying that it makes it illegal to come across our border illegally. See, it would be a different glee in my voice. Yeah, a bit of high voice. It's illegally. I can't believe. But him, a bill. So it sounds like, in spite of that being something wonderful, I think he's viewing it negatively. Let's see.
You realize that that means a law enforcement official can walk up to somebody
and do what?
All right, they look Hispanic.
Okay.
Okay, their English is broken. They don't speak fluent English.
Yeah.
So that could be a cause for me to arrest them?
So now this stupid yet claims he's a smart black man right here. Because I've seen Stephen A. have some wonderful arguments when he was dealing with sports. But now he wants to get over here in politics. And that he's in an arena that he shouldn't be in. So now here he is going to disrespect the intelligence integrity of all of the Texas police, the all of those people. You're going to disrespect them. You're going to disrespect their motive. You're pretty much saying that they're going to be riding around in their cars, y'all. Oh, boy, I tell you. Unbelievable. Why does he make me have to do this, y'all? I got to bring a guest in now to this show. Yes, man. Yeah. It's me. I'm back, man. Bob, the stereotypical white nationalist Trump supporter, man. That's right. Finally, we done got the go-ahead to drive around our police cars and our scanners and stuff like that. We out there saying things crazy, man. We out here talking about some breaker 19. I done spotted somebody who's brown and not pure Snow White. We don't go over there and pull them over based on their brownness. Okay, we can't have brown and yellow and beige and all kind of mulatto looking folk running around Texas. We got the soul right to pull them over. Say, hey, look, come here, boy. Come here, say a couple words. Say a couple words. What's that accent thing you got there, man? We here speaks the king's English, the white man's English. You understand? I don't want to hear you talking about some bueno and talking about some el gato. Man, that's a dog. Okay? No el gato. This is America. We speak American. Okay? So now since you can't speak the English right, we gonna lock you up because you ain't white. That's what we gonna do. Can't speak the English right, you get locked up because you ain't white. That's what's going to happen. That's what Stephen A. Smith is saying. These cops right there, like we've been waiting for this moment of unleashed racism. So we don't have the ability to make an educated decision. No predicate, no nothing. Yeah, we've been doing this for years. We've been dealing with illegals for all of these years. We can kind of get a feel where they might dwell. Especially if we just see them blatantly coming across the border, because that's the majority of folks that probably will be apprehended immediately. But this guy, do you understand? He's deep, y'all. Y'all get him a reason to just go up there and arrest people based on they might not speak the king's English. They might have broken English, all that stuff. What an idiot.
Wait for it.
Here it comes.
You have essentially opened up an avenue to incarcerate people
based on what?
For no cause whatsoever other than a particular law enforcement official's suspicion.
So now, once again, so brother number one who's deep, what he's saying then is that once they pull these people over and that person says, hola, what? What you talking about some hola? You better say hello. Now, where you coming from, boy? My house. Okay. Are you an American? See? Show me your ID. There you go. I don't want this mess. Ain't got nothing to do with me. We're still taking you to jail. There it is. That's what this guy's saying. So even if, God forbid, a mistake is made, if you're not an illegal immigrant, you don't have to worry. If you're an American citizen, you think they're still going to arrest you just because you might be mulatto, you might be Mexican, you might be, all of this stuff. This is what this guy wants us to think. But the chances of them just pulling people over because they just look at them and say, well, obviously they're from the, Middle East or they're from, South America. I can tell they're not white, that's for sure. So therefore, we go ahead and pull them over and, hey, you got some papers on you, buddy? But let's continue hearing this dude make a fool of himself.
That's what we're going to do to our Latino brothers and sisters.
Oh, our Latino brothers and sisters? See, let me tell you, man, I grew up around Puerto Ricans, and I'm not like Joe Biden. We actually grew up around Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans and blacks in the United States, or at least in Youngstown, live together in harmony. Great time, man. I love the beans and rice and beans. I love the pastelitos that they would cook. I love the salsa music. Love it. But that doesn't mean if there are a whole bunch of illegal immigrants that I'm going to say, I love Latinos just because they're Latinos, and I'm going to excuse them breaking the law and hurting the homeland by coming here illegally. I'm not going to do that. I wouldn't do it for black people. Okay. And I don't even want to have to focus on my Latino brothers and say, yeah, I look at them as like, yeah, my Latino brothers and sisters, that's cool. But there's white brothers and sisters. There's American brothers and sisters. And just because I can identify with you based on the melanin in your skin doesn't mean I should excuse you violating our laws. Okay? So he wants to put it in context of skin tone, race, and all of that, not legal versus illegal. That's the only thing he should be focused on. Legal versus illegal. But not Stephen A. Smith. He's so deep that he can't figure that out.
It's racist.
There it is.
And there it is.
Yes, it's racist. He sounded like, what's that dude to play on Saturday Night Live, Tracy Morgan, when he'd be like, that's crazy. That's what he sounded like. That's crazy. It's racist. Boy, I tell you, man, these folks right here on TV. Now look at this guy. He got a huge platform. And his response to this bill is it's racist. Because it's illegal to come across our border legally. It's racist.
It's racist. Somebody needs to say it, so I'm going to say it.
Uh-huh.
It's a racist ass thing to do.
Oh.
Suspicion? Suspected of entering the country illegally. How can you be suspected of entering the country illegally?
Now y'all hear this hypocrite. I remember this fool was under fire because he was talking about how black young men need to pull their pants up and don't be walking around with your pants down, and there's certain ways you might dress that will limit your opportunities and profile you that might, get you in more trouble unless, you try to dress up, and perception is reality. And they were attacking this dude. You're just, you're stereotyping these black folks. You're saying you're profiling them. And he defended that. And I defended him for that. I'm like, I agree. You got to look at the presentation sometime. All right. However, now all of a sudden profiling, it's racist. I mean, just on suspicion, it's racist. How you going to even know if a person came in the country illegal or not? So how have we been knowing it all of this time? So we just let people fly in and out of the country, and we have no way of figuring out whether they're legal here illegally or not. We're just shot in the dark. That person looks legal. All right, what about that guy? He looks illegal? Right there, okay. We got 10,000 people coming through the airport every day. No method or form or way of checking to see if they're here legally or not. No? Okay. Well, there you go. Let's size them up. All right, that guy looks, he looks pretty illegal. He looks pretty illegal. What about that one? Oh, no, he's definitely legal. So now, what is he talking about? But yet, maybe we have to help this big forehead having knucklehead soul brother number one out by showing him how you might be able to conclude that.
I'm glad you asked.
But there's a good way. If you're coming here on top of a choo-choo train, you might be illegal.
That's what we're going to do to our Latino brothers and sisters.
Yes, if you're coming through our southern border and going through fences, yes.
It's racist.
It's racist. That brother coming with a suitcase and everything. Look at this mess right here. Done cut through the fence. But that's what we're going to do to our brothers, our Latino brothers and sisters. Okay. Now, you know why Stephen A. Smith is talking like this? Is because these Latino brothers and sisters are not coming to his neighborhood. Do you understand how quickly he would be profiling every single one of them if they showed up in his neighborhood? He would be looking out of his curtain down there like, yes, it's about 20 or 30 of them standing outside of my mansion right here. They look pretty illegal. They're not speaking English. I don't know what they're talking about. They could be talking about coming in the house or something about, I can't understand. I don't speak that stuff, man. Just send somebody here. I think they might have bad intentions. See? So now what he's doing is he's saying, man, it's racist. But yet he ain't living in those conditions. The brothers up in Chicago wasn't up here talking about it's racist. They were saying these folks are bringing all kind of problems. They're being shoved into our neighborhoods. We ain't got time to be tiptoeing around social justice issues and racism and stereotypes and all of that mess. We are being hit on the front line while Stephen A. Smith is way up there in Washington calling the shots. That's right, send in more troops. But sir, we just lost 40,000. Hey, they're just lives. Send in more troops. It would make a difference if Stephen A. Smith was down there seeing the carnage. Shove him down there, Shite Town, with those brothers and those facilities and all of that, and see if he goes, it's racist. Unreal. Look at that. Yeah, I think that looks pretty illegal.
How can you be suspected of entering the country illegally?
There's your answer.
So he's acting like, Texas, they just got in the game. They have no idea how to figure out who is coming here legally and illegally. He wants to belittle our intelligence by thinking that this is going to be a free-for-all to go and arrest black folks. But guys, it don't stop there. We got to go ahead and finish. We're not going to get to the second half of the show, but I do want to finish this segment dealing with this racism nonsense that, somehow is trying to be brought back to justify why we should not shut down our southern border.
Response when he says that the border is broken under President Biden.
Oh.
The border's been broken. It was broken under Donald Trump.
Here it
as well.
is.
Our immigration reform. We have needed comprehensive immigration
Y'all
reform
hear that talking
for decades.
There it is. She read straight down that script. Are you starting to see the commonality there? Every single time one of these Democrat operatives, governors, mayors, senators, House members get asked about the border, they go right back to what they all went over in their little corrupt class. All right, remember, guys, if they ask you why the border's broke, don't tell them the real reason, which is we want it broken on purpose so we can replace our, dwindling voter base and create cheap labor. So what do? It's been broken for years. It was broke under Trump. It might have been broke under Trump, but he was actually trying to fix it. That's the difference. He was trying to fix the broken border that you guys broke before he even got there and was almost successful. And y'all stepped in and broke it again, re-broke it. There you go. So yeah, you're the kid to say my remote control car's wheel is broke. And you go, oh, there you go. I just tightened it and fixed it. And you grab it and say, thanks, and pick it up and shatter it on the floor. But yeah, you up here talking about some, it's been broke for years. That same talking points that we heard Mayor Brandon Johnson say. Same thing that Chameleon Harris is saying. Isn't it odd that they all keep saying this?
Let me also say, you've got small businesses clamoring for people. We've got caregiving, which is in desperate shape. And we need to bring some of these people need to be immigrants, but we don't want illegals. We don't want other people coming in. We don't want drugs coming across our border. We need a balanced, comprehensive immigration policy.
No, we just need to shut down the border and stop these people from coming. Because we know they're not coming here because of asylum. We know that. So here she is talking about, we do need some lower level workers and stuff like that. We just don't want the bad stuff. Yeah, so she want to sift these illegal immigrants like wheat. And she wants to be able to say, leave all the tares, we'll take all the wheat. You can't do that. When you open it up and say, flood the border, surge it. You can't do that. You're going to get the bad with the good, knucklehead. So here we go. Even the good still shouldn't be here. Even if there was a way to determine who's all good and who's all bad, that doesn't justify why these people should have the privilege of just circumventing our immigration process, especially if they're not coming here because of true asylum claims. But here she is. We need people that do all this. But here's another one. Y'all ready for this one?
Allies should be tied to this mangled immigration process is absolutely insane. I mean, when you look at somebody like Greg Abbott, my governor, and his solution is to basically say, hey, we're going to kill people that are trying to come in.
Did you just hear this chick? You hear this ghetto soul sister #1 with that asymmetric haircut just say, this mangled immigration system. First things first, y'all mangled it on purpose. You're the kid that just tied both of your shoes in a big fat knot and then brought it to your parents saying, my shoes is knotted up. I can't get it unknotted. That's what you're saying? We got a troll. If we got a troll, get him, Don. Get him. But yeah, so y'all put it in a big knot so nobody can figure out how to untangle it and then complain about it. I can't get my shoes on. I don't know. It's in a big fat knot. So here she's talking about this mangled and tangled the immigration system on purpose. You get rid of all of the things that would have stopped this. All of the things that would have shut this down and made it difficult for these people to come here. But y'all go ahead and get rid of all of that. You don't implement rational common sense policies that is sure to work. You don't do that, but then you complain. It's mangled and this and that. But then she has the nerve to go one step further and say Governor Abbott's solution is to kill people coming. I don't know if there's a party on the planet that is worse than the Democrat Party. I mean, I know there's some horrible regimes in some countries that I'm really not, for me. I'm sure they got some warlords in Africa that go and hack folks. I mean, there's some bad regimes on the planet. But these people are the worst because, see, we all know Xi's bad. We all know Putin's bad. And there's some relativity there. Kim Jong-un's bad. There's some relativity there, meaning there's going to be citizens there that say, you know what, these people are bad. Some citizens are going to say they're bad, but I'm going to pretend they're good. And some citizens are going to say, I love the way things are run. I love it. But the overall census is these people are bad. Difference with our people here is they claim they're good. They claim they're virtuous. They claim to be everything that they're not. Fighting for everything that they're undermining and destroying, and claim they're looking out for their own people. See, at least in China, they fear Xi because they know what he's capable of. They fear Putin. They fear Kim Jong-un. They fear these people because they understand this person is dangerous. But then you got these people right here who say, don't worry about us. Don't fear us. Don't do that. And yet they will destroy American lives while smiling in their faces. And these people will be destroyed, kickling and cackling and saying, thank you for destroying me here. You're the worst type of people right here. So here she is right here. Instead of supporting the fact that Black communities are being disenfranchised by all of these people shoved into their neighborhoods and all of that, she decides to say Governor Abbott's solution is to kill people coming across the border. Do y'all ever hear him come out and say that? I mean, it's amazing that she can just say that without any type of repercussions.
Like, that's not a solution. Like, the Republicans don't have the solutions. They want to continue to defund the aid that is going, not the aid, but they're continuing to defund border security. Well, I mean, who's going to sign up for this job and you're not paying? Focus on.
They're going to continue to defund border security. Who's going to sign up for this job and you're not paying? No. See, once again, I got to destroy the young Pop-Tart that shouldn't even be in office. First things first. The solution is not to go kill people. I've never seen Governor Abbott come out and say, all right, here's the solution. We're just going to start killing them as they come across the border. Never. But she just throws that out there on a friendly network. Gets away with it. Secondly, the Republicans don't want to fund you guys further mangling the immigration process. We don't want to give you more shoestrings to tie in a big knot and then complain it's mangled by saying, here's more money. And y'all saying, we're going to use that money to process these people quickly, to build more facilities for them, all of that. You're helping the problem. Thirdly, people don't want to sign up, not only just because of the pay, because people will say, you know what, it's an honorable job. So I'm going to go ahead and take a hit when it comes down to the pay. Police officers, nurses, so many people that dedicate their lives to certain things. And they say the pay is not that great, but it's a noble job. But to look at them abusing the Border Patrol agents, abusing ICE, enabling them, giving them these jobs of babysitting and processing while the real criminals run free. Fentanyl coming across the border. You're not giving them resources. You're not giving them the authority to actually, stop these people. Yes, nobody wants to sign up for that. That's why we got a shortage with the military. We got a shortage with our police. We got a shortage with folks signing up to go down there to the border. When the people who signs them up are undermining them and prohibiting them from doing their job. But yeah, here she is talking about, it's the Republicans' fault. That's what I was trained to say. Listen to this.
Trump is using the rhetoric of Hitler and Mussolini to make a point about people coming across the border illegally.
South America, Africa, Asia. No mention of Europe in Mr. Trump's list. And he uses the term poisoning the blood of our country.
Africa, Asia, Europe. Whatever. He's not using Europe. He didn't mention Europe. Why didn't he mention Europe, Jake Tapper? Let's use your intelligence. Let's use some deductive reasoning to perhaps why would it be that he didn't mention Europe? You're supposed to be an intelligent anchor. You're supposed to be able to have some type of context clues, deductive reasoning, use some inferences and stuff like that. But, not him, not fake crapper. So could it be that these people are not leaving Europe to come here? In fact, a lot of illegal immigrants are actually fleeing to Europe as well, just not as much that are coming here. They're coming from the countries that Trump mentioned and the continents that Trump mentioned. But he wants to make it seem like Trump excluded Europe because Europe is pure Anglo-Saxon white blood. We would openly welcome all of the illegal immigrants that are of pure white descent. Now, do you think if some reason out of nowhere, all the people from Ireland, all the people from England, all the people from France, all the people from Switzerland just decided we also are going to start jumping on boats and planes and stuff and just coming into the southern border? He would probably throw those on the list as well. It would be questions. Why are these people coming? But you know what would be the difference? Is these Democrats and people like him would be saying these white Anglo-Saxons shouldn't be coming. We don't want to make America more white. These people are coming here to take advantage of their white privilege and benefit off the patriarchal system and the systemically racist organization. That's what they would be doing. They wouldn't say, these people have a legitimate asylum claim. They're coming here for a better life. These people are coming here for asylum. They wouldn't do that. So this idiot right here is trying to bring in the element of race again.
Poisoning the blood of our country. If you were to open up a copy of Hitler's Mein Kampf.
And of course, the blood of our country only means white Anglo-Saxon pure blood. It's not a metaphor to show that the United States as a whole, is a unit, a country. It's an organism. It's a body. It's like the body of Christ, made up of a whole bunch of Christians to form a unit, a body. So when you look at the United States, we talk about, we all bleed red blood. We all, salute the red, white, and blue. All of that crap. This right here is a mentality. It's a culture. It's all of these things. But Jake Tapper wants to reduce Trump's analogy and metaphor to real, actual blood. I guess he's going to go one step further. Trump is actually saying that if these people come here, they're going to inject their their raggedy black and brown blood into all of these white, pure people and then dilute them. I'm sure that's what he was referring to.
You would find the Nazi leader describing the mixing of non-Germans with Germans as poisoning. The Jew, Hitler wrote, quote, poisons the blood of others.
During a recent campaign stops in New Hampshire and Nevada, former President Donald Trump stoked fears about undocumented immigrants coming across the U.S.-Mexico border. Par for the course.
Stokes fears about them. What kind of fears? We're almost done, guys. It'd be hard for me to walk away from this stupidity. It really is sometimes. So now, Stokes fears about these people coming across the border. They're going to recycle this one. They're going to go right back to when he came down the escalator and he mentioned that these people are coming and these folks down there in South America are not sending their best. They're sending their worst. They're sending their drug dealers, their murderers, their rapists. And I'm sure some are good people. But now, They said that was him stroking fears. It was him going ahead and trying to keep America white. But now that's all backfiring. See, we got some real-time data to show that this is impacting communities of color. And these communities of color are upset about it. You think they're looking at the stroking fears as violence and all of this prostitution and stuff is being set up and their resources is being taken out? So these people are recycling this narrative as if we haven't heard it before. So he's stoking fears.
Since the day he rode down the escalator and declared himself a candidate for president back in 2015. But the themes and choices of his words this weekend are significant. The former president again repeating language that echoes white supremacists.
What? There it is. White supremacists. Hitler, Nazis.
News points out the term blood poisoning was used by Hitler in his manifesto Mein Kampf.
He is a...
Wow, they all become experts on Hitler's Mein Kampf when Trump gets out there and speaks. They probably got a lexicon like, okay, let's just go through, do a word search. Let's find anything in Mein Kampf, because you know they didn't read the whole thing. Find any word that deals with blood. And do a search, come up, okay, there it is, blood poisoning. Trump said blood, okay. Rabbit, the rabbit hole. Trump said a rabbit hole, he's Hitler. Food. There's not enough food in Germany. Trump said food, he's Hitler. Anything we can find to try to connect Trump to Hitler, white nationalism, Nazism. They sit back and they comb through Mein Kampf because they know it well, probably. Yeah, especially considering, the whole Democrat Party and their Jim Crow laws were used. The Nazis used it. Let's just take what they have already done and said and just change it to the Nazi. That's all they did. But here they are talking about Trump's Hitler again in Mein Kampf.
The fascist guys that really we're dealing with a fight in our country between democracy and fascism.
Democracy and
telling you
fascism.
that he doesn't really mind the Hitler comparison because at heart he admires Hitler.
All right.
I can't go no more, y'all. I can't go no more, man. Yeah. Okay. So this is a fight between, democracy and fascism. Coming out of the fascists. Coming out of the group of people in the party that wants Trump removed from the ballot. Okay with censorship. Okay with gun removal. Okay with all of these things. Okay with a full-blown broken border. Subverting the will of the people. Changing the demographics of the country. They're okay with all of that. Okay with globalism. And yet he's talking about that he's a fascist. And he loves it. He loves, being compared to Hitler. He admires it. What a horrible thing to say. I mean, so many things run through my mind when I hear them get out there and they do this and they say this stuff. And I just have to censor it before it comes out. I got to revert back to just horrible. What a horrible thing to say. But I really would love to call that man a whole bunch of choice words that he got the nerve to say. Trump, he admires it. He admires being compared to Hitler.
In the meantime, former President Donald Trump is again making some very incendiary comments about immigrants, talking about immigrants poisoning the blood of this country. He used that kind of rhetoric earlier today in New Hampshire. Why it sounds like an appeal to white supremacists, because in many cases it is an appeal to white supremacists. That's next. And
it sounds like it because we're telling you that it is, even though it really isn't. And if we really took it in its true context, we know he's not talking about, white Americans, the blood of Americans. See, because the Democrats can't see all of our blood as one blood. They don't see it as red. They see it as white, see it as black, mulatto. They got gay blood. They got transgender blood. Did you know that? There's lesbian blood. There's Indian blood, and there's Latino blood, and there's all kind of different types of blood. It's not just red. Yeah. So once you cut people open, you'll see what kind of blood they bleed. It's brown. That person's obviously bleeding brown blood because they're brown. There you go. And look at that white person. You cut them open and pure white snow comes out of them. So now he's wanting to try, along with the rest of them, try to make it appear that when he's talking about the blood, it's poison in the blood of Americans. He's only referring to just white Anglo-Saxon blood. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. And because we're telling you that's exactly what he's referring to, it's obviously white supremacy mixed and sprinkled in there. These people suck.
And the Republican sex scandal. Another Trump rally, more attacks from former President Donald Trump on immigrants. Here he was earlier today in New Hampshire.
Attacks. Yeah. See, nobody's just blaming the illegal immigrants. It's the Biden administration. It's mucus. And not to mention, instead of saying these people are here illegally and need to be returned because they violated our immigration policies and broke the law, even though mucus and them are trying to say, technically it's legal now because we done changed all of the requirements to come in. Just because that has happened doesn't mean you can't criticize them. But now all of a sudden, it's attacks. See, they use these words purposefully. It's attacks.
Poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done. They poison mental institutions and prisons all over the world, not just in South America, not just the 3 or 4 countries that we think about, but all over the world. They're coming into our country from Africa, from Asia, all over the world. They're pouring into our country.
I didn't know Asians were people of color, but nonetheless, there you have it. What Trump just said only applies to white, pure Anglo-Saxons, because when he says the blood of our country, that's who he's referring to. We're not going to ask him who he's referring to. We're not going to sit back and put it in context and use it as a metaphor, a blanket metaphor, even though Trump didn't come out and say they're poisoning the white, pure Anglo-Saxon blood of our country. But that's what we're going to lead you all to believe, that that's what he is referring to. And then he got the nerve to point out the actual countries that these people are flooding in from. And just because they're not from Europe, which is a fact, we're going to go ahead and say, there you have it. The man just said poisoning the blood, white blood of our country, even though he didn't say that. And these are countries of color. Put it together. You get it, don't you? Trump's Hitler, and he's referring to keeping the Anglo-Saxon blood of this here country white as snow. And these people of color is coming in here poisoning it. He does not include us citizens that are black, Latino, you name it, Jewish, all of us American citizens in that when he says poisoning the blood of the country. We're not included in that. That's why they need me as a spokesperson for the president.
Let me start with you. You've studied fascist rhetoric, autocrats, authoritarian leaders. You and I have talked about this subject many times. What was your reaction when you heard what Trump had to say earlier today?
Here we go.
This is fascist rhetoric. The worries about polluting the blood of the superior race go as a standard.
Holy moly! The superior race. Which race is that? I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I'm so glad my eyes are open to all of this crap, what they're doing. But it's almost unreal to see this and say, they are that blatantly, obviously corrupt in the media. They're that deceptive. And they're out here perpetrating a fraud, that they are real media outlets. Jim Acosta sitting there with his eyes closed, taking it all in. Yes, right there. See him? Yeah. This woman just straight came out and said, poisoning the pure blood. And what else did she say right there? Because that was crazy.
Race go as a standard of Nazism. It's not.
Wait a minute. Trump had to say earlier today.
This is fascist rhetoric. The worries about polluting the blood of the superior race go.
What superior race is she talking about? Where did Trump ever say that? This is crazy. The superior race. Did he mention a race? He mentioned the blood of the country, not the blood of white people. But here's the sad part. Most people who watch that crap, they won't even catch it. It'll go right over their head. They won't even say, wait, you are full-blown making up something that he did not say and adding your own twist. And why would you do that? What's your motive?
Go as a standard of Nazism. It's not just the Nazis, it's also fascists in Italy.
They are obsessed with Nazis. Nazis been gone for decades. But for some reason, they just can't let Nazism go. They can't let slavery go. They can't let any of these things go. They can't let racism. All of these things are trying to phase its way completely out of society. But you can't do that if these things are being used for weapons. You can't let them go. There are weapons. Dang on it. So now the same people who are dividing the country by using fascist, Marxist conflict tactics right there as we speak, McCarthyism, all of these same people are trying to tell you that Trump's fascist, he's tried to this and that. They're using fascistic tactics. And yet she's talking Trump's the fascist and the superior race and all of that stuff. And Nazis, because anytime we want to go ahead and try to undermine somebody, Nazi, racist, white nationalist, white supremacist, stuff like that.
Mussolini literally talked about killing rats, to go back to Trump's use of vermin in an earlier speech. He talked about killing rats who were bringing infectious diseases.
You know what rats are bringing the infectious disease to this country? Is not illegal immigrants. Nope. It's the Democrats. They're the ones that have infected this country with liberalism, globalism, bad policies, all of the things that we see taking place in this country is because of Demo-rats. Those are the only rats that need to be dealt with. Demo-rats.
And communism into Italy. So, this is fascist rhetoric, and he's using it for a very precise purpose. But we also want to, ask why he's using it now rhetoric so often. And unfortunately, the Trump campaign's made it very clear what they want to do to immigrants. Mass deportations, mass detentions, likely abuses and violence in those operations.
Unreal. I mean, it's that moment I want to sit in the room like a fly on the wall, watching people who take CNN seriously and just observing their reaction to hearing something like that. Sitting up there, did you see that? They didn't catch that. That's how I feel. This woman just said what he wants to do to immigrants. He wants to put them in, concentration camps, possibly with abuses and all that. Just straight make it up. So what we want you guys watching us to think is Trump's going to do exactly what Hitler did. Put them in concentration camps, start to gas folks, perhaps run experiments on them, and just throw that out there and hope that the audience don't stop and go, did she just say that? I mean, is she serious? That's why I would love to observe people who actually respond to that and be like, that Trump's pretty bad.
In those operations.
Look at that.
Campaigns made it very clear what they want to do to immigrants. Mass deportations, mass detentions, likely abuse.
Why mass deportations? Just because they're illegal immigrants? I mean, because they're just people of color, they're Latinos and stuff like that? Is that the only reason? Or could it be because they're all here illegally and should be deported? And then you're talking about detentions. Unlike the Biden administration, come on in. Here's a piece of paper. Go into the interior of our country. Have a good time. See you in 3 years. Doesn't work like that. We got to have these people in some place to where it's now your day for deportation is here. Thank you. Go ahead and get in there. But what she's trying to say is even though those are things that need to be done to unravel this mess that the Biden administration has created, while they're in those camps, we're going to experiment on them, use them for slave labor. Who knows what we'll do to them.
Abuses and violence in those operations, and dehumanizing immigrants, which is what this language does.
Notice they're using the term immigrants, not illegal immigrants. None of that. They don't want you to ever look at what Trump is doing in the context of legal versus illegal. They want you to look at this through the eyes and the lens of these are simply immigrants that have the right to be here. They're just undocumented. And the only reason Trump is using this rhetoric is because they're people of color. What? No, is there a difference between legal and... There's no such thing as an illegal human. And America was built on immigration. And we're a melting pot. And all of this crap. And the immigration system has been broken. And America's guilty for displacing all of these people all over the country and all of that. And now all of a sudden we have to make up for all the years of atrocities by bringing these folks into our country. And because Trump wants to stop it, even though it's hurting the same minorities we claim we defend in America. But don't worry about them because they're just Americans. See, they're just Americans. See, so don't worry about them. But even though Trump's trying to do things that will help that, we don't care. Yeah, we don't care because he's a white nationalist and stuff.
Is a way to get Americans prepared now to accept these repressions later on. That's what's so terrible, and that's also another thing that's so fascist about this.
Wow, it's amazing that they can come on and even say stuff like this and just walk away. I wonder if they coordinate this before they start the interview. I need you to say some real damaging things and about Trump and support the whole immigration thing. And could you go ahead and try to make Trump look like the only reason he's trying to deport these people is because he's a fascist? And sure, I'll sprinkle some extra stuff on it. I got you. Don't worry, I got it. I'll go ahead and embellish. I'm going to make it real sweet and juicy for you, Jim Acosta. Then they bring on Jabba the Hutt as we get ready to close. Back to fake crapper. Let's hear Jabba, this bootleg, sold out, disgusting, stinking windbag of a nasty, disgusting, washed up Republican / rhino right here, address Trump's words that he used. And let's see how he has to respond to this.
The leading Republican presidential candidate, your response?
He's disgusting. And what he's doing is dog whistling to him.
No, you're disgusting because it looked like you just inhaled about 1,700 hamburgers before you came on the set. And I can see you growing right before my eyes, crispy. You ever seen somebody gain weight in real time? Looks like he's on there right now, like he's disgusting. And I'm like, is he gaining weight? Dang, you shouldn't be able to see it that quickly. But there he is. He's up there talking about he's disgusting. And what it is, these are dog whistles that only I can hear because I'm a dog. Man, I can't stand rhinos.
Americans who feel absolutely under stress and strain from the economy and from the conflicts around the world. And he's dog whistling it to blame it on people from areas that don't look like us.
Now, isn't it ironic that Trump supporters, when they listen to Trump, they don't hear the dog whistle? I don't understand. I mean, you would think if they heard the dog whistle and what the media is saying the dog whistle is, the dog should respond to it. Why is it that we're all sitting around going, I didn't hear nothing. I didn't hear nothing. What are you talking about? Yeah. But you know who do hear those dog whistles? A lot of their brown shirts, all of their advocates and all of their radicals on the streets, when they hear people like Chris Christie get up here and Jake Tapper and all the rest of them talk about Trump's fascists, he's trying to put these people in control. Then you get them that run out and start protesting, tearing up stuff. You know, they hear the dog whistle that these people put out. But for some reason, we don't hear it, because if we heard it, you would think we would all immediately go, what? Oh, that's our call to go out and get rid of anybody that's not brown. Let's go ahead and start rounding all these people up and killing folks that's coming across the board. We're not doing any of that. That means that when we hear Trump talking, what he's talking about, we're not hearing it like these people. These people are dropping the dog whistle out there. They're dropping the seed in the mind of all of their viewers that this right here is Trump communicating to all of his white nationalist supporters and voters right there. And they're all going to be coming for you guys, even though that is not what's happening. If we wanted them, they would have been gotten years ago. Years ago. Conservatives been sitting back watching this chaos around our country for years and haven't done nothing. But yet here they are as a dog whistle.
And look, Jake, the other problem with this is the Republicans who are saying this is okay. Almost 100 members of Congress who've endorsed him. Nikki Haley, who this week said he is fit to be president. You're telling me that someone who says that immigrants are poisoning the blood of this country, someone who says Vladimir Putin is a character witness, is fit to be president of the United States, was the right president at the right time? Nikki Haley should be ashamed of herself. And she's part of the problem.
No, you should be ashamed of yourself, because all of that fat you've been inhaling is a part of the problem. Dang on it. You did that to yourself, Crispy. You did it to yourself, okay? But there he is, that she's a part of the problem.
because she's enabling him. She's enabling him by saying to people, it's okay. Let me be really clear. I'm in this race to let people know it's not okay.
To do what?
It's not okay for an American president to be saying these things. And she should be ashamed of herself. These members of Congress who just sit there and quietly nod their head like a dog in the back of a car, just nodding away.
Ooh, he called her a dog. He called that independent, strong woman of color a dog in the back of a car nodding her head. He's attacking her. The same one, he says she's intelligent, smart, Vivek. You shouldn't be disrespecting her right here on stage. This is ridiculous. Can't believe you said it. Now, all of a sudden, she nodded along in the back of a car like a dog. Yeah, see, if we took everything they said seriously and, literally, then he just called Nikki Haley a dog in the back of the car nodding her head. That's unreal. Yeah, why is Chris Christie not being attacked for attacking that woman?
When he says all these things, because all they care about is their own political future and their own primary. I want to speak quickly.
So there we have it.
The Democrats in the Senate and others who are considering supporting this proposal.
Uh-oh.
If you do so,
what's going to happen?
You will be surrendering to right-wing racism.
Oh, God.
And more than that, you will be enabling it.
Backlash will you get from the left if he does agree to these changes?
There's going to be a lot. We have to put together a coalition that is the same coalition we delivered in 2020 for him to win the White House, for us to win the Senate, and for us to take back the House. And that coalition involves a lot of young voters. It involves a lot of immigrant voters.
No, it involves a lot of dumb voters. That's what it involves. And what do you mean a lot of immigrant voters? What immigrants are you talking about? The ones here legally or illegally? When it comes down to the Democrats, you already know, okay? Because most legal immigrants that come here come from countries that say, man, I ran from a country that's doing the same thing you Democrats are trying to do. So, yeah, I wonder what immigrants she's talking about.
It involves a lot of folks of color.
Oh, God. Involves a lot of folks of color. So now you see the game plan, y'all. Let's go ahead and use certain issues, topics to try to go ahead and undermine Trump. Number one, he's Hitler. He's a Nazi. Number two, he's going to deport all of these immigrants for no reason, because they're legal. They're legal. They don't deserve to be deported because they're legal. See, but even though they're not, so he's deporting them for a reason. But they're never going to tell their audience that. They're going to tell them he's deporting them because he's a white nationalist and he's Hitler. And then the other one they're going to try to ride in on is women's reproductive rights. So now you can't vote for Trump for multiple reasons. Number one, he's Hitler. Number two, he hates all legal undocumented citizens of color. And number three, he's going to just remove all women's rights. You're never going to be able to get any abortions and all of that stuff. And these are all major topics that we think will change the outcome of the election, because as of now, Joe Biden's getting his face ripped off. So we'll finish this up tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, because yeah, this next part is going to piggyback right off of what we just heard. It lays the groundwork for what we're about to go ahead and talk about tomorrow. So we'll do a brief recap tomorrow, and then we'll jump into the second half of tonight's show that I wasn't able to finish. Now, before I go, I want to let you guys know, please subscribe to my Stop and Think About It channel, because what I'm about to do, y'all, as soon as I get done with this, I'm about to upload my first phase exposing the craziness that is being used to try to get Trump off the ballot for 2024 with this whole narrative of insurrection. So this phase one is going to give you a perfect illustration of the difference. It's the first phase is going to identify and give a visual of, number one, what an insurrection looks like. What is the expectation of an insurrection? When you think about it in the context of what they have been telling you an insurrection is, does it line up? Okay, so this phase one is going to bring this it's going to bring it home. It's going to be one of these videos that if you send it to a friend of yours who still for some reason thinks that this was the greatest attack on the homeland and Trump almost overthrew, and it's an insurrection. It's going to make them kind of, if they got any type of common sense, they're going to feel kind of stupid after watching it. but it's designed to make you go, yeah, that does seem a little stupid. Yeah, that does seem a little, man. Yeah, now that you show me that. So it's a wonderful video for a conversation starter. So please, please, please subscribe to my Stop and Think About It channel, because I'm telling you, I'm about to upload it right now. Now, it's not saying that I'm not going to upload it to this channel, but you're going to have to wait for it. So you can get the inside by subscribing to my Stop and Think About It channel and check it out in the next 20 minutes or so, because that's all it's going to take for me to upload it. And you'll be ahead of the class when we talk about it on this channel. Then part 2 will be coming probably tomorrow, and then part 3 may be Monday. But boy, it brings out some wonderful stuff. So you don't want to miss that. Secondly, please hit the like button, share my videos before we get out of here. And make sure that you follow me on all the other platforms. I'm talking Facebook, X, any place you could follow me. So this way we always have a means of communicating and staying connected. Thirdly, check out the merch store. Fourth, please text MAGA to 330-974-4607. And then finally, if you can and choose to support my channel through my normal Cash App or PayPal, that's cool too. But I have a app, or a link rather, to my fundraising link right below this video. You can go ahead and do that. Whew, man, 2 hours. I went 2 hours again, though. God dog it. But man, and 20 minutes of material always ends up being longer than it looks. I'm saying it's only 20 minutes of material. I'm fine. I'm sure. All right. So somebody said, make sure you leave Kev a Christmas gift. Yes, because Christmas time is here. Happiness and cheer. I don't know the rest of the words, so I'll make them up as I go. Don't know those words, but I love that song. So please, if you can, leave a little something in my stocking. That'd be great. Now, with no further ado, let's get ready, because I got to prep for 1, this upload, 2, tomorrow's show, and 3, the second phase. See y'all tomorrow. God bless. Hey, Gizmo. He's over there laying on Black Gay Drop's wig again. What? I know you see the goons. I know you see the 8s. I know you see the way we tear up the place. Yeah. God bless. Take care.